Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben. I got a barrel proof bourbon on the bar. Let's get into it. Okay, so tonight on the bar, I've got, bam, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924. So this is the newest in the line of Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs. It came out in 2024. I'm a little bit late, this being the C924. Obviously it came out in September. We didn't see this one in Minnesota for whatever reason, or at least I certainly didn't, and I tend to hit a lot of stores. So I don't know what the delayed maybe release or hitting the shelves was with this one. Usually we get these within like a month or so, and this one just seemed like take a couple extra months. So anyway, happy to have it now. This one comes with a trigger warning. Prepare yourselves. It is under 12 years. So this one comes in at exactly 11 years, 129 proof. So we're below that 12-year age statement, which they started doing last year. I personally haven't had a problem with that, but I know some people have. But, you know, what do you do? So getting into it here, the nose, by the way, is fantastic, just those first couple snivs. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs are ones that I kind of have, I don't know, an odd relationship with. I think they're all great, for the most part. Great, I mean, I think they're all really good, some better than others. But I wonder if maybe I just don't notice quite as much nuance between them as some people do. So on one hand, the releases that people tend to say are maybe bad, I don't think are bad at all. And the ones that people say are really, really great, I don't know if I really think they're really, really great either. I just kind of stay in the middle. And so there have been times when I've considered maybe not buying every single release that comes out, but I don't know, I'm a bourbon guy, so every release that comes out, I end up buying it. So I don't know, maybe I should just give up on the idea that I'll ever stop buying these, because I do really enjoy them. This one on the nose right away, just tons of sweetness jumping out of the glass. This has got a fantastic nose. Yeah, that's just a ton of sweetness. It's got the standard bourbon notes, but it's got like the brown sugar is a little more dominant. It's got like the nice caramels and vanillas, but they're not right up front. There's a darkness to it, maybe a little bit of leather, and some nice oak spice. Man, that is just a ton of different notes coming off the nose. The proof definitely shows up, but it's not overwhelming. So yeah, let's get into this one. I'm excited about it now. Cheers. Wow. It's been a while since I've had some of the other releases, but this one really stands out as a particularly good release. That's really, really a pleasant surprise. Kind of oaky up front.
That is sort of an oaky afterbirth.
What was that?
It's a little more tannic on the palate than the nose would maybe have suggested, but not in a bad way. It's definitely not over oak. Sometimes, you know, I got criticized for not singing the praises of C923 as much as many people kind of did. And I just thought that one was a little bit bitter, and it kind of overwhelmed any of the sweet notes. And so that one just really wasn't my favorite, but it seemed to be everybody else's favorite. This one has some of those tannic bitter notes, but I think they're really well balanced. They just kind of provide a nice sort of bite to it, a nice spice. But the sweetness really shows up here. It's all the sweetness that was on the nose definitely transferred to the palate on this one. Just a nice balance from the nose to the palate, but the caramel's there, the vanilla's there, but there's really a nice, deep, rich brown sugar. Maybe almost like you picture like the buttery brown sugar mix when you're baking something. Getting a little bit of that going on. But I'm really liking this so far. Let's have a little bit more. Yeah, that's every bit as good on the second sip. I feel like this one's kind of a little bit of a roller coaster. Not in the sense that if you sit with it for a half hour, it's probably gonna do a whole lot more than what it just kind of is. But just the actual flavor. It's kind of like that nice oak is up front. That gives way to kind of that really nice, like sweet kind of baking spices, sort of mid palate. And then on the finish, there's kind of like this tannic spicy note. Not necessarily like a peppery note, but kind of like an oak spice, kind of like a tannic. I don't want to say bitter, but a little bit bitter, but in a good way. Again, like, I don't know, it's just, I feel like the sweetness and the bitter really kind of go together nicely. Not getting much of that Heaven Hill nutty sort of note from it. I mean, I guess it's kind of there, but it's not overwhelming. So this kind of makes me wonder, now that we've had a bunch of these releases come out that were below the 12-year age statement, I think the lowest one was in the 10-year range, which is still a great age for a bourbon. I don't know. I mean, I know that the older releases kind of have the best reputation for being like the best Elijah Craigs. Those were kind of before I got into the game. But I think some of these with that kind of 11-year age, they've really worked for me. But again, I kind of run in that middle ground on Elijah Craig where I don't think they're like the greatest ones, but I don't also think any of them are bad. But I think that, you know, I kind of wonder like maybe the decision by Heaven Hill to drop the 12-year age statement might have been, you know, if you got 12-year-old barrels over here and 11-year-old barrels over here, just because they're a year older, it doesn't mean the 12-year-old barrels are better than these. And keep in mind that that's the youngest whiskey in the bottle. There could be other stuff blended in here that's much older than that. So I think if you were just keeping it at the 12-year age statement, you've got all these great 11-year barrels and you're not able to use them. And so I wonder if that played into Heaven Hill's decision to do that. It certainly seems logical because I've actually really enjoyed these ones in the 11-year range. I wonder if some of those used to go to like the single barrel program, because they do have a lot of store picks of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and that's another reason why sometimes I consider like, well, okay, do I really need to keep buying the releases? Because the store picks are usually every bit as good. A lot of them are actually less than that 10-year age statement now. When they first came out, I saw 10-year, 11-year ones all the time. Now they're getting down to like the 9 and 8, but some of those are really, really good too. But let's go in for the final sip here. So, in closing here, this is excellent. This might be my favorite release of the last couple years. Might be. I know, again, I didn't quite like the C923 as much as everybody else did. But just going off of memory, this one just really has that nice sweetness, but it just interacts with that oak note and those kind of dark, maybe like leathery flavors and that bitter kind of tannic spice. They all work really, really well together. It's almost like it's got a ton of different flavors and they're all turned up to just the right level, like a well-balanced EQ, if that makes any sense. It's like all the different levels, like, and they're not all the same. It's not like they're all just equal. It's like some of them are a little bit higher than others, but it just comes together to make a really, really nice, kind of sweet and dark, just great barrel proof bourbon. So I'm super impressed with this one. Excited to watch some more reviews on this because I'm wondering how this is gonna stack up to people that maybe haven't liked it quite as much the last couple years and maybe don't like the ones that are in that kind of 11-year range. So I'm looking forward to, I try to not watch reviews before I do tastings. So now I'm looking forward to getting caught up on those. And I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. What do you guys think of this one? And let me know what you think of the age statement thing too, because I have talked about that in previous videos, and maybe that'd be a good topic for a live stream sometime, but I don't know. I don't mind them ditching the 12-year age statement. I can see how that maybe would have been like a threshold for them that they couldn't go below it, and so they couldn't use all these other great barrels. So, but that's just, you know, pure conjecture on my point. So anyway, well, this has been Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C924 on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.